Hi there, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us on UpNorthLive Unscripted at 6:30. I am your host tonight, Maya Engel. I was off for a few days, but I am back, and we have a really great show for you tonight, a lot of very important stories. But before we get to those, let's turn things over to our meteorologist, Joe Charlevoix, live in the Weather Center. And Joe, a lot of folks around northern Michigan woke up to maybe a little bit of rain this morning, but as the day went on, the rain kind of left and we're left with some pretty dry conditions. So will it remain dry as we head into our Thursday?
But I want to welcome you back though first.
Thanks.
Yeah. Good to see you back. Good question. Yeah, we had some rain, but you probably noted in several spots now the sun is breaking out this evening, and that is going to continue and carry over through tomorrow and beyond, Maya. So looks like a stretch of weather, and we're going to see a pretty decent warm up too on the way. So I'll be back a little later with much more on that.
Sounds good. We will see you in a few minutes, Joe. But let's turn things over to one of our top stories of the day today, and that is Governor Whitmer signing the state's 2025 fiscal year budget. Now, today's $59.1 billion state spending plan, that actually adds to the $23.4 billion education budget that she signed yesterday in Flint, making next year's total state budget $82.5 billion. And it funds infrastructure, public safety, workforce development, housing programs, among many other items. So we wanted to know what projects here in northern Michigan are going to be funded through next year's state budget. So our Allie Baxter takes us to Grand Traverse County, where a former correctional facility may finally have a new purpose.
8 years, lots of ideas have been pitched for this property.
It's a big undertaking. It's a functionally obsolete property that needs to become some sort of economic driver before the buildings deteriorate.
Former Pugsley Correctional Facility in Fife Lake Township was closed by the state in 2016.
We are hoping to take the 200 plus jobs that were decommissioned by the state in 2016 and get those replaced.
There were visions of technology centers, space command control, or temporary housing for those experiencing homelessness. But none of these plans came to life.
I know a lot of other things have come across the opportunity path here.
It's this property that inspired Township Supervisor Lisa Leedy to run for the role. She says she wants to take Fife Lake's albatross and help turn it into a phoenix.
They reached out immediately when they first started talking about purchasing the land, and they've been very open and transparent.
It's potentially the furthest an idea for this property has gone. Chad Munger of Mammoth Distilling pitching a future for the old facility as an agritourism hub.
They're partnering with MSU and other state organizations, other county organizations, and in the township very transparently, and they're just trying to take a piece of it at a time and do it in a phased development, which I think is a smart approach.
Lisa explains most of these buildings are in great condition and can be saved and adapted for a new purpose.
Most of the buildings on site are only 24 years old. There's only a few that were from the 50s.
The community has always been outspoken about what plan for the former facility best fits their needs. Lisa says she's heard nothing but positive things about this one.
We're in a great spot for someone who wants to do some sort of mass distribution product because of our proximity to the highway. So we have just a lot to offer. It's great for our citizens to be able to look for other job opportunities that are a little closer.
In Grand Traverse County, Allie Baxter, UpNorthLive News.
And $2 million was allocated in the state budget for the redevelopment of the Pugsley site. Now I'm going to switch gears here and turn things over to another story that we have been working on today, and that is a service returning to Benzie County. So a lot of things went away during the COVID-19 pandemic, and some of them never returned, but Benzie Bus announced this morning that they are bringing back a very popular service, and some of the riders actually have a pretty special tie to the bus service, and they really couldn't be happier for it to be back. So here is Mark Chalette with that story.
Or I drive that anymore. We both have seizure disorders, so it's safer not to. And this is our mode of transportation.
Right now, Jim and Joanne know well that the Benzie bus service plays an important role in their daily lives. In fact, in the most adorable way possible, it did 12 years ago as well.
We met on the Benzie bus. We were both sitting on a bench waiting for Benzie bus, and then we struck up a conversation. So we had a nice chit chat, and then we both got on the same bus. when it was time to ride. And I was getting off first, and I didn't want to miss an opportunity, so I gave him my calling card with my phone number. And he called me that night, and we've been together ever since.
Yep, they found love on the Benzie bus. This morning, like they do often, they called up the bus service for a ride for a breakfast date.
The drivers are wonderful. They help out.
Needless to say, Jim and Joanne are fans of the bus service. And more people may be soon as they find rides and maybe love, because at the end of the month,
we're excited to bring back our flex route.
with the COVID pandemic shutdown, is coming back by demand.
So it's going to run from our bus station in Honor all the way over to Frankfurt to Paul Oliver Hospital. So it'll run that on an hourly basis, and we have one bus leaving Honor on the hour and one bus leaving Frankfurt on the hour.
Folks living within a half a mile of the route can call the bus service and get picked up at their door and dropped off closer to their destination.
This route is, I guess, what I would say our bread and butter.
The Flex Route buses will be rolling 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. to get folks who can't or don't want to drive where they need to go. Different
Doctors' offices, shopping centers, drugstores, that type of thing.
It's a bold rebirth for a bus service that's already seen ridership jump 30% in the past 2 years. This latest edition may see those numbers go even higher. A lot of riders and potentially a lot of new ones coming on board. Benzie Bus's job is to get people from here to there, but their mission may go a little beyond that.
It's very rewarding to see that you touch people's lives from anywhere 3-4 years old that are riding to a daycare or a summer camp, all the way up to people that are over 100 years old.
That was Mark Shillette reporting. And how cool is it that Mark actually met a couple who met on the Benzie bus? When you go to cover stories like this, you really never know who you're going to meet or who is going to be willing to talk to you. But the fact that he showed up at the bus stop and he met this couple who met on the bus 12 years ago and have been together ever since is pretty amazing. So I really love that story. But I'm going to pull up our question of the day now, and we haven't touched on this yet. Usually I show this at the beginning of the show, so we're a little late. But the question today is, would a rebate of $300 influence your decision to buy an e-bike? As of right now, 31% of voters say yes, and 69% of voters say no. You can scan that QR code on your screen now to vote. But the reason why this is our question of the day is because Traverse City Light and Power announced this morning a new instant rebate program for electric bikes. So for more on this, I will pull up our question of the day again in a little bit. But I want to bring in Jacob Hardy. He is the Sustainability and Key Accounts Manager for Traverse City Light and Power. Jacob, thanks so much for being on Unscripted today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So is this new rebate program, is it going to be $300 for everyone, or how does it work?
Yeah, it's a flat $300 rebate that you get. And this one is different from the other rebates that we have in that it's an instant rebate. So the participating bike shops in the area will actually take $300 off that bike for you instead of you having to fill out paperwork and return it back.
So who's eligible for the rebate?
Any Traverse City Light and Power customer with a residential account.
And then what were those shops that you mentioned that are part of this program?
So we have I think almost all of the local bike shops. I don't know of any that we've missed off the top of my head, but Traverse City Bike Shop, Brick Wheels, McLean's, Pedigo, Einstein Cycle is also participating in it. If I've missed anybody, but it's pretty much all the local shops that we have in town.
And can you walk us through the application process?
Yeah, well, for this one in particular, you just go into the shop, you pick out the electric bike that you want, and they take $300 off for you. So this rebate in particular is very simple. The other process for our other rebates that we have, you generally just fill out an application, which we have an online form, send in a copy of your receipt or receipts, and we'll send a check back to you.
So what are those other rebates that you're talking about?
We've got rebates all the way from LED bulbs still to heat pumps. That's an emerging technology that's getting more and more popular, and the rebates are quite large on that. So we've seen a lot of activity on that side. Wi-Fi thermostats, Electric yard equipment is another one that's been very popular. We just introduced that on Earth Day. And then Energy Star appliances, heat pump water heaters. The list kind of goes on and on. On the commercial side, it's 4 times larger.
So then can people go to your website to find out more information on all of this?
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, because I know that was a lot of information and a lot of different products and services that you can get rebates. So what is behind the reason why TCLP wanted to offer this rebate specifically for electric bikes?
Well, so it's kind of part of our grand program that we have. We just launched a whole new program called My Clean Choice. And the whole reason behind it is to help clean our environment up, especially locally. A lot of the rebates that we offer are to kind of help at least educate people in the carbon reduction space, energy reduction. So we want to try and help you actually reduce your electric bills as well. But all in all, the umbrella program of My Clean Choice is really to help people help the environment, essentially.
Yeah. And then is this rebate for e-bikes something that's going to be going on for a long time, or is it temporary?
Nope, this is a permanent program that we're going to run at least through our program year, which goes July 1st to June 30th. So we just introduced it. It's been wildly popular, that and the electric lawn equipment as well. So yeah, we're going to continue going with that.
Awesome. Well, Jacob, is there anything else you want people to know about this new rebate for electric bikes?
This rebate in particular is super easy. Just visit your local participating bike shop and they'll be able to help walk you through it. We also, on top of the rebates, offer financing, both residential and commercial side. There's a lot of really exciting things and more to come. We've been working on a lot of newer programs, so more to come. Keep watching, check our website.
Are those things that you can talk about?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Yes.
Stay tuned for more on that.
Stay tuned for more. Yes.
All right, Jacob. Thank you so much for joining us today. Have a great rest of your evening.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
Thanks. Take care. I'm going to pull up our question of the day one more time. So now that we talked to Jacob, we have a little more information on this question. If you haven't voted yet, now would be a great time to scan that QR code and let us know if a rebate of $300 would influence your decision to buy an e-bike. Now, of course, this is something that is going on in Traverse City for Traverse City Light and Power Company, but I'm sure a lot of other companies potentially around Northern Michigan have similar rebate programs that similar to what Traverse City Light and Power is doing. So I'm going to take a quick break here and I'll leave the question of the day up on the screen for those of you watching online so you can vote during the commercial break. But when we come back, we are going to check in with our chief meteorologist, Joe Charlevoix. He'll have a much more detailed forecast for you right after the break. Welcome back, everyone. Let's bring in Joe for more on your weather forecast. And Joe, you mentioned that we have some nice blue skies and warmer weather in their forecast.
Yeah, I mean, pretty picture perfect. Mid 80s for the weekend and sun.
Wow.
And I'll tell you right now, I know it's like early, it's Wednesday, but you don't have to worry about rain this weekend.
Oh, lovely.
Yep.
We
Nice
love
beach weather, things like that, golf game, whatever you have going on. But it was cloudy early this morning, Maya. And of course, we had some of that rain in spots. Here's what it looked like in Gaylord. This is our time lapse today. A lot of cloud cover early on over downtown Gaylord there. You can see that. And then we did get a little bit of sun in the afternoon. The system that brought all that rain is moving off to the east. So I'll double click this here. Here's a look at radar and satellite imagery. Spinning away from northern Michigan. And on the back side of this, as we zoom in here, just a couple lone showers. This is the last hour. That's it. Just a couple of these light spits of rain there. In Sheboygan, Presqu'île counties, a little bit there, Montmorency County, and just off to the west there of Atlanta. And we had a few showers earlier up around Detour Village, Drummond Island. One other shower there, just kind of heading toward the Sioux, Sugar Island. But those should come to an end. And then high pressure is going to build in. Right now, the center of this is up around Thunder Bay, Ontario. That will drop in, and it's in no hurry to move through. So Thursday, Friday, dry all the way through the upcoming weekend. So this is what it looks like on Stormcast. There's a couple of those showers right now. We'll go through tonight. There's tomorrow. Beautiful day as we get into the afternoon. Still a bit of a north wind. And then that area of high pressure will park itself right on top of us on Friday. Right there. Just a beautiful day Friday. I mean, sunshine all day long. And the next couple nights still pretty comfortable. And then we get into Saturday, same story. There's just nothing going on. Very nice. Are we going to get record warmth? I don't think so, but it is going to be a warm stretch. These are average highs coming up here. And starting Friday, right through next week, we are going to stay generally, the average in the mid 80s. Obviously, if you're near the Great Lakes, it'll be a tad cooler than in some spots. And the weekend right now specifically, sunshine all day long Saturday, low and mid 80s, and then Sunday, partly cloudy and warm with highs in the mid and upper 80s. A couple quick events. The Venetian Festival continuing in Charlevoix. And look at the next 3 days. Sunshine, warm, pleasant. And the Brown Trout Festival in Alpena, 70s to mid 80s by Saturday. And I wrote it in there in the bottom, 0 weather issues coming up there as well. Extended forecast. Dry the next 4 straight days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The next chance for a couple drops of rain will be Monday. Could get a couple showers and storms in here Monday and Tuesday, but it does stay on the warmer side of things. So I would say, Maya, pretty good July weather. We'll take the dry weather, a couple showers and storms here. And, if you like those warmer days, we have that coming up too. But it's not like going to be record warm. So
right.
Pretty
just
pleasant.
good beach weather.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
All right, thanks, Joe. We are going to take a quick break on Unscripted, but when we come back, we'll check in with Sports Director Harrison Beebe, see what he is up to today. Stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Let's bring in our sports director, Harrison Beebe, who is live along the Asable River in Grayling.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you want me to jump in, find out for sure?
And that's the only way to find out, right?
Right, yeah, it's nice. You don't know the river unless you actually be a part of the. Well, I'll go ahead. Let's give these viewers the unscripted water experience. Yep, that's a river right there. Can confirm.
It's the
Liquid.
Asable.
Yeah. Yeah, big week out here in Grayling for the big Asable, the 76th race for this event. It's been going on a long time. Oh, yeah, video. I didn't know you had video. Look at that. That's convenient. Good to see everybody in the stations working hard today. Yep, time trials started today. Those will run through Friday. That's the way to get these guys lined up for the start, the big running start that for most of you who know the race, it's a dramatic start, running with their canoes down Main Street in Grayling before they get in the river to do the 120-mile trek to Oscoda. Maya, how many miles do you think you could log in a canoe before you'd have to call it quits?
Oh, gosh. I could probably do like 10, maybe.
10?
Yeah.
Well, they do 120. How much of that do you think you could do overnight? I think it starts at 9 o'clock on Saturday night.
Gosh, let's just say I could not do what they do. There's just no way.
Well, I know you're kind of an adventurer, but yeah, this is a whole different animal to execute something like this. It's a world-renowned event. There's people that travel from all over to take part in it. Organizers said there's a lot of rookies taking part in the river this year. We're gonna have more on a cool story coming out tomorrow. I don't want to give too much of it away because we'll discuss it in detail tomorrow. But I will say part of my story relates to a 15-year-old participating in this event. So
Wow.
If you don't want to do it at your age, and I'm not going to reveal your age on air, but if you don't want to do it at your age, imagine going back in time and doing it at 15. That's quite an impressive commitment for her. And we'll explain the ties to why she's doing the race, which is also a pretty cool part of it.
Is she the youngest person doing it this year? Do you know?
I would presume so.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't ask that part of it, but when you hear 15, I mean, she can't even drive a car yet, and she's going to take a canoe down this river 120 miles overnight. So, yeah,
That's
there's
amazing.
so much endurance, mental and physical, that goes into this event. And, yeah, props to these guys. I'm with you. I don't have the stamina for something like this, but it's a big community event. Everybody's out here rallying, even here at the time trials. And yeah, if you're out here for any part of that race Saturday night into Sunday morning, I'm sure it's just this really cool experience that I've heard from everybody who's been involved that you could say it changes your life. I'm sure for many racers it does. And a lot of these folks come back multiple years, multiple decades, so it's a big part of a lot of these people's lives here along the river. And for those that travel a long ways to take part in it.
Absolutely. A very iconic Northern Michigan event. All right, Harrison, thanks so much. We'll see you back here tonight at 11 for sports, but we're going to take a short break on Unscripted. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Stick with us. Let's take one last look at our question of the day. Would a rebate of $300 influence your decision to buy an e-bike? 32% of voters say yes, 68% say no. Scan that QR code on your screen right now to vote if you haven't yet. And if you missed it, the reason why this is our question of the day is because Traverse City Light and Power announced a new instant $300 rebate program for electric bikes. So that is all for our Up North Live Unscripted show tonight at 6:30. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you back here tonight at 11 o'clock. Take care, everyone.